Hello everyone, welcome back to another election prediction video. This time we have President Joe Biden up against former President Donald Trump. So as I'm just filling in the safe states in this video, if you aren't subscribed to the channel already, I would highly recommend doing so. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers in a couple of months. I think it's totally possible. But aside from that, I do tons of political content, and if you enjoy this type of video, you should totally subscribe. But we're almost done setting up the safe states, and now we can just get right into this. Okay. To start off with, I got to lay out what's going on in the polling. So currently, in the month of December, looks like the Republican Party's doing a lot better than they're doing in the past. Trump has one of his highest leads ever right now. I think he ever got before. But so far, nearly every pollster has Trump winning the popular vote. There's a few polls out there that have Biden narrowly leading here. How do I think the popular vote's going to settle? Well, if the election were held today, Trump would probably win the popular vote by like, I don't know, 0.7%. I think it's not going to be as big as 1.7. I kind of doubt. I think a lot of undecideds would still go for Biden if the election were held today. But the real thing is, will this election lead stick a year in the future? Well, I kind of doubt that because I do think Biden will probably make some gains among more young voters who will probably go back into his fold because they don't want a Trump presidency. But as of right now, I think that it's pretty much clear that Trump is the favorite to win the election if it were held today, and that's pretty much the standard I make these videos. If the election were held today, it's like a snapshot in time. But let's get right into this. So the first state I will be ranking is South Carolina. It's definitely going to be a safe state. Trump will probably easily win it by over 10. Same with Alaska at this point. Even though in previous predictions I did have it as likely, Trump's gains in the popular vote pretty much made it Alaska a safe red state if the election were held today. Iowa, it's completely out of Democrats' hands. I don't think they're going to contest this state at all. Ohio, I think it's just a Trump 9-point victory here. I don't think it goes to double digits. I still think there's a good amount of votes in the urban areas for Joe Biden and the suburban areas too in Ohio that keep him below that under 10% victory for Trump. Even though Nebraska's second, it goes narrower. Biden only wins this district by a lean blue percentage. So he only wins it by about 4 points, I would say, against Trump. So he's underperforming here even. In Florida, this state could go over 10%. Just based on the voter registration, it's looking brutal for Democrats. Like, Republicans have a 680K vote registration advantage over Dems in this state. So it's really just falling apart for Democrats in the state of Florida just due to a lot of Republicans moving there, Cuban voters shifting right, Latino voters in Florida shifting right. So I have this as a likely Republican state. The state of Texas, even though due to trends it's getting more bluer and bluer, just because of Biden doing worse in the general election and generic Democrats doing better than him, it's mainly probably because of Biden's age, honestly, that hurts him the most. But again, with Texas, Trump's probably going to win it by a likely Republican margin as of right now, probably like around 5 percentage points or so. That's currently what I have it as. Just Biden's doing worse in nearly every state according to the polls as of right now. However, Colorado, it's not one of those states. They'll still win it by over 10%. It's still a very progressive leaning state, so Democrats will keep on doing great here just due to trends. Virginia, New Mexico, these states both go down to likely states. Again, just Biden is going to not win them by over 10% as of right now. He only wins Virginia by like 6, I would say. Maybe even, I'd say about 7% he wins Virginia by. New Mexico probably by about 7% as well. Again, he's just doing worse in the popular vote according to the polls. Like, most polls show that. In the state of Maine, it isn't a safe state for Biden anymore. It goes down to likely, and Maine's second stays as a likely Republican district. Even New Hampshire gets closer. It goes from likely to lean blue just because Biden's doing worse in nearly every swing state as of right now. In the states of North Carolina and Georgia, North Carolina has a lean GOP state. I don't think it goes to likely. I still think it's going to be a relatively competitive state in the 2024 election. The state of Georgia, however, even though some people have been saying that the Biden campaign's not going to invest much in Georgia, I don't buy that hype. I still think Biden is going to try to contest and try and win Georgia, even though there's no Senate seats up for grabs. But I still think Trump has the advantage here. If the election were held today, he would probably end up winning Georgia by a tilt margin. Okay. In Nevada and Arizona. The polling's a bit weird in Arizona. It actually shows Trump leading here by decent amounts, but we kind of almost fell for that mistake with Kari Lake last time around. She was a Trump candidate. She had the lead, and then she ended up losing due to undecideds all breaking for the Democrats. And that's kind of what I see happening in Arizona. I think the undecideds were just going to break for the Democrats like they did in 2022, and that's kind of what I see happening. I don't think they like the Trump brand here, and I think Trump will still struggle in the state of Arizona in the months coming up. In the state of Nevada, this state is one of the most unpredictable states to even predict. Nearly every pollster had it as a loss in the Senate race, and the Democrat ended up winning. So in this, you really have to overestimate the Democrats in Nevada to really have an accurate gauge on how it votes. It's a very pro-choice state, and Trump's messaging right now on the issue of abortion, I don't think that's going to help him. Because recently he been bragging about appointing the Supreme Court judges that pretty much gutted Roe v. Wade. So I still think Nevada is a tilt blue state, regardless of all these polls showing Trump up here. Every time the Democrats are underestimated in Nevada and they ended up winning. So that's kind of my reasoning for tilt blue Nevada. In Minnesota, I'm putting this down to a lean blue state. A recent poll only shows Biden up here by 3 points, and it's a reputable one in Minnesota. So again, Biden's just losing voters pretty much everywhere, just due to his age probably being the biggest issue, honestly, holding him back. And in the last 3 swing states here, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Wisconsin, I have as a tilt GOP state. It's a very close state. Polls each show Biden up here, Trump up here. But again, this is one of those states where general election polling usually misses the mark in favor of Republicans. So I'm giving Trump the benefit of the doubt here. I think he'll probably carry Wisconsin so far. But in the state of Pennsylvania, so far, it looks like Trump has the advantage. Most polls in Pennsylvania keep showing Trump leading by like 3 or 4 points here. I don't think he's going to win by that margin. I think there's a lot of undecideds that'll probably still end up breaking for Biden. But I have Pennsylvania as a tilt Republican state. I think it's the state that crowns the winner of the 2024 election. I think it's the tipping point state, basically. And in the state of Michigan, I still think Democrats have the advantage here. They have the trifecta here. They'll still have a good amount of independents on their side. I still think it's in Biden's favor, but it's only a tilt blue state. So Trump could theoretically end up winning this one, Arizona and Nevada, maybe even getting a bigger victory than he had in the 2016 election. Definitely an improvement over the 2020 election. He flips 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states if that were hypothetically to happen. But I don't think that'll happen right now. I think still Biden will get some support out in Arizona, especially. I just see undecideds going his way there. Michigan, I think Democrats will hold on there. I think it was kind of a fluke that Trump flipped it in 2016 anyway. And Nevada, Democrats are just underestimated here a lot. But so far, if the election were held today, Trump would be the victor, which is pretty bad news for Joe Biden, considering there's still like 11 months left, but he really should be leading right now if he were the incumbent president, but I think that's kind of just due to his age issue. But other than that, that's my current election prediction according to what the polls say and what I just think currently about each state. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.